So.
Do you have video surveillance out there?
Yes, we do.
Okay, inside and outside?
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Anybody else?
Nope, that's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And don't leave yet, because you never know. Okay.
I'd like to see our track star go out the door again.
Yeah. You're pretty quick, too. You got out to your car awfully
I've
fast.
never seen her move like that before.
Okay, Mr. Arul is applying for this 3.2% intoxicating liquor license. Do we have any other questions for him? Or amongst ourselves here? Okay, then we'll look for a motion.
I'll move on to 09-09.
Oh, second.
Motion by Coop, second by O'Laughlin, to approve the liquor license for AKSK, Financial Corporation, DBA Superstop.
I have one
Any other?
question.
Yes, Mr. Lang.
I didn't hear what, I don't know who said this as far as how many of these we can have. Is there unlimited?
Unlimited.
3.2 is unlimited.
Okay.
Off sales unlimited.
Yep.
Okay, any other questions? We'll call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? There you go. Now you can leave.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to business. Presentation of claims, 8.1. Any questions for the staff? Otherwise, we'll look for a motion.
I move to approve.
Second.
Motion by O'Laughlin, second by Coop. Any other questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. 8.2, Friends of the Library. 8.2.1, Resolution 09-093, approving charitable gambling premises permit for Friends of the Library at the Red Door Bar. 8.2.2, Resolution 09-094, approving charitable gambling premises permit for Friends of the Library at Andy's Bar and Grill. 8.2.3, Resolution 09-095, approving charitable gambling premises permit for Friends of the Library at the Borough Bowl.
I'll move on 09-093.
Mr. Murphy, do you have anything important to say, or just move on here?
Well, the only thing I would add is there has been a recent change in state law that the State Gambling Board no longer requires municipality approval. However, our Belle Plaine City Code 305-.06 requires organizations to notify us of new and renewal licenses from the state board, and that we shall adopt a resolution either approving or disapproving those. That's staff report, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Now, Mr. Coop, you made a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Trost. Any questions?
I have one.
Yes, Mr. Lang.
We talked about this previously, which is under 305.07, and that is lawful expenditures must be in accordance with organization declared intent projects. We have some issue there. Have had some differencing as to whether it's handled that way. This time, I would like to, speak to the fact that we need to, uphold the rule that's in here, and if it's not, then it needs to be changed. Or, I mean, it's like all the other rules we have that supposedly we hold to.
Are you referring specifically to subdivision 2, the lawful expenditures?
Yes.
Which states that each licensed organization which conducts lawful gambling activities within the city of Belle Plaine shall expend 100% of its lawful expenditures of funds derived from gambling activities for the direct benefit of citizens living within the trade area.
Of course, that's a vague thing.
Trade area is defined
It's defined.
as the city of Belle Plaine.
Oh, yeah. And so that's why it hasn't been upheld. This rule hasn't been upheld. So, we can hold up their approval here, or we can send them a note saying that this has to be upheld this year, and next year will be a problem if they don't. I'm just throwing that out here as an idea.
Yeah. Well, your specific concern, what are you thinking, like, what are the expenditures that are you?
Well, they gave all this money to the friends, or I should say, what was it called?
Dollars for scholars.
Scholars.
The scholarships went to city kids.
Right.
District kids.
No, they lived in the city.
Well, some of them might have been district kids. I don't think that the school or the Dollars for Scholars discriminates on where a kid lives as to whether they get a scholarship or
Well,
not.
they had the Friends of the Library Scholarship.
Well, that's different than Dollars for Scholars, though.
Oh, okay.
You know, I mean, what's a good charity, what's a bad charity? Certainly Dollars for Scholars is a
Very good one.
good one. But you're technically right, that if a kid that lives outside the city limits of Belle Plaine gets a Dollars for Scholars scholarship, are you really thinking that you want to cut it that fine?
The chambers bought Little League uniforms. Them kids don't live in this town, so the chamber is wrong. So you got to change the chambers. Are you thinking about them too, that they can't buy stuff like that? Chamber buys a lot of stuff for kids that don't live in this town. The Snowmobile Club spend all their money out of this town because there's no trails in the city limits. We never stop that.
I do see your point, though. I mean, that this is
I do.
something that needs to be enforced, and
But the rule is already in there.
right, the rule is
You
in
brought
there.
it up 3 months ago. We didn't enforce it. We still can.
But I'm not going to sit up here and say that I'm going to enforce the rules so that we're going to discriminate against kids that don't live in town versus kids that do live in town. I mean, that's not your intent, Mr. Lang. I can't imagine that. Nor is it our intent to say that, you know, or the chamber can't give Little League uniforms. Okay, if you live out in the country, you don't get a uniform. It's
Well,
not
I
going to
know,
work that way.
swimming pool, that's
Right.
what out-of-town people use.
But I think that the spirit of this is correct, and if there's a blatant disregard for where they decide to give the proceeds from their gambling, then of course we should be on it. Meaning, if there's but it used to be that the charities that sponsor these things were, like the, I don't know, like Lupus, or not Lupus, but what, some of these,
Oh,
like
yeah.
March of
MS had
Dimes
one.
and MS, that's what it was, yeah. And that definitely went out of town,
They
so.
all went in town. They did our handicap curbs. It all 100%
So all that
stayed in
MS money
town.
stayed in town?
It never went out of town.
Okay. So when did this subdivision come into play? 51908? Yeah.
Mr. Mayor?
Yep.
Yeah, if I may, I don't mean to interject, but kind of what I remember when this was added into there, I think there was discussion about where the main point, I believe, was all lawful expenditures must be in accordance with the organization's declared intent and projects. I believe it was part